If you're still with me, thanks for sticking with me this long. Okay, so the last time I was talking to you guys about eating out and how to go ahead and just ask for what you want when you're eating out. Now, I have shared with you guys about what we do to actually stay on this journey as far as the food prep and all of that stuff. And I know my biggest thing I get a lot too is, okay, well, what do you buy? And do you buy fresh? Do you buy frozen? Isn't that expensive? I can't do that. That costs too much money. I get a lot of that a lot of the times. Because as I said before, not only do I do weight loss, but I do meals for my children every day for lunch. I send lunch to school with my children every day for lunch. And I have a group on Facebook, which I probably will add that on there. And I just started on Instagram. So thanks to Miss Joyful ACG once again for inviting me to Instagram, which I share on there. And I'm also on Pinterest and all of that. So yeah, I'm getting out there. But anyway, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I buy most of my stuff fresh. Every once in a while, I will buy the frozen stuff during the winter months, depending on what it is. I buy, the frozen stuff. Now, when it comes to the meal prep for the kids for lunch, when it comes to really the fruit and vegetables, I buy fresh. I just do. To me, it doesn't matter the cost. It doesn't matter the cost. It's important to me that my children have decent food, like things, lunch meat and different things like that. I buy lunch meat and different things like that, and I try to get the best of the best. When I do buy it, if you can say that there's the best of the best, best of the best. Most of the food, I do make a lot of the food. I make lots of fresh pizza, and because I can know what's going into it, and lasagnas. We love pasta. Don't get it twisted. We love pasta, which I don't eat, anymore really because of the weight loss plan that I'm on right now. But even with that, make my own sauce and all of that good stuff. Either way, yep, I buy stuff fresh. And you have to understand that, well, here in Michigan, we have the seasons. And so during the summer months, we get the, strawberries and blueberries and peaches. And then as it goes into the fall, you get the apples and things of that nature. And starting in like May, after Labor Day or whatever it is, you can have a garden. So that's what I do. I do a garden as well, which helps with still having the fresh veggies and not having to go to the store and pay for it, even though it is the season for it. When it comes to the blueberries and stuff like that, I take the blueberries, and I'm not going to go get a bag, but I have bags of them in the freezer of the blueberries and stuff. I just take them. We buy them 10, 15 pounds at a time. We go out and pick them, and then I individually freeze them, wash them, dry them, freeze them individually, freeze them on a tray, and put them in freezer bags. So this time of the year, I don't have to buy it that way for myself and for the kids, depending on what I'm making for them for their lunches. You can get by with some really good stuff. I mean, most of the time, the fruit and stuff is not that expensive. Now, the biggest thing that I find that is most expensive is the grapes. Isn't that crazy? Those grapes be so expensive, and I don't have time for that. I'm not going to be spending all that money on those grapes. But always have a continuous supply. Everybody that knows me and, and comes to my home and know that they're going to eat when they come to Touch of Love 100, how she going to eat. We always have fresh fruit, apples, oranges, grapefruits, strawberries, pineapple. And if it's not fresh, if I do canned fruit, it's Dole or Del Monte, I think it's called. And I just do that for the clementines and sometimes the pineapple. But when I do canned fruit, I get the best canned fruit. I get good canned fruit that's gonna taste like itself, but it's in 100% juice. It's not in high fruit toast corn syrup or none of those things. But to me, sugar is sugar, no matter how you look at it. But I like to get it when it's in 100% juice. So basically, yes, I buy all of our fruits and stuff, fruits and veggies, fresh, and I go grocery shopping every 2 weeks. And that's not grocery shopping for my meats and stuff like that. I don't go grocery shopping for no meats every 2 weeks. I go grocery shopping for meats maybe 2 to 3 months. And I do that by buying in bulk, and I freeze. And there was a time where I would buy like chicken breast and all that stuff in bulk with the bone in, and I debone it myself because you paying for them to have it deboned and stuff for you already. But now I do buy it already deboned, but it's still really cheap. We have a meat market, that's a little bit of ways away from us, and I use that place to get the stuff real cheap. And so I take those foods and I separate them out and I bag them and freeze them, and that way I'm just really what I'm really keeping continuous buy of is the fresh vegetables and fruits and like bread and stuff like that, just the little extras that we call them. And to me, I think it's very important that we don't think of it as, man, that's expensive. I could no, I'm not. I rather just eat whatever just to say that I've had something to eat. But you have to think, okay, in the long term, you're going to end up paying more for your doctor bills and care because you're not well, because you're not eating as good as you possibly can, as you maybe possibly can. Now, I know everybody don't have a food budget like I have. I know that the Lord has truly blessed me to be able to have a good food budget, and I know everybody don't have that budget like me. But I tell people, and this is another thing that I get from people who ask me, well, how can you do that? How in the world do you do this? No, and I'm gonna tell you, that was one time where there was like 10 people 10 people living in my home, and trust me, I didn't have no problem making sure that the plan that I have for my house, when it's just the 5 of us, that my plan is going to be the same when 10, 20, 30 people come, because we just don't eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. Now, we eat good, and like I said before, when you come to a Touch of Love 100's house, you're going to eat good, but there is a balance to that. And I know, like I said before, everybody does not have a budget like I do, but if you can plan out your meals and stuff, and you can plan out what it is that you're going to do depending on your pay schedule, it is very doable to have good meals and to have a good plan going on with whatever amount of money that you have. So it's very doable. But to answer that question, what do I buy and how do I buy? I buy mostly fresh, and I do buy some frozen things, and then I buy fresh and freeze and things like that. So I'll come back to share with you another thing that I do to also cut costs as well.